Hello and welcome to the show. This is Everything Under the Sun. My name is Ty. Hope all of you are doing amazing and having an incredible time, enjoying your life, enjoying this moment that we have right now. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but it's something that dawned to me as I was kind of listening to some inspired audio, as I like to call it. And, I feel like if you're listening to this, there's probably other people that you've listened to, other inspired audio that you may listen to that kind of brings you to this place where you feel more inspired, you feel more in tune with your true nature, you feel more at peace, you feel more at ease, you feel like there's something more to this life, and there is. And I'm very thankful for you and for all of us who are kind of moving on this journey and learning with each other, because that's exactly what we're doing when we share these experiences, when we come together in this way. And even though it's just me speaking in this podcast, I do intend on having more guests, so expect that. But as we kind of meet in this way, we are connecting, even though it's seems like it's virtual, even though it seems like it's outside of time and space. We are connecting in this way. And when you feel the resonance that I send through this podcast, that's our connection. That's how we connect there. So I am very thankful for you in this. And again, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but something that I was kind of thinking about as I'm just thinking about this life. I told you in the last episode about this journey of going through all this health stuff that I've been dealing with, and it was something throughout that time that I was very mental, very I was very much grounded in, I guess, the belief, the knowing of our eternal nature, and that life doesn't end even after the body does. I was very grounded in that, but I think that there was a lot of like cerebral activity that was happening that kind of kept me kind of focused on just doing things and processing things and understanding things and making sense of things, so I can become at peace with these things. And of course that's a way that we can go about things, but peace is right here for us. It's always right here for us, and it's something that I think that I lost sight of, in the sense that when we allow ourselves to focus on that and only that, it can bring us so much more of a pleasant experience. It can bring us closer to the very things that we desire for ourselves. My entire being here in Hawaii and Maui, that happened because I was back in California. There was nothing really going for me. I had stopped doing the job that I was doing. I mean, I was financially doing actually very well. But I was just kind of, I wasn't really doing much aside from podcasting. My car had just broken down. But the entire time, it was like for 3 months, the only thing that I focused on was feeling my way towards what I wanted to do in that day. And of course, that is a luxury and a benefit in itself, to not have any obligations like kids or work or anything like that would distract me from doing whatever I wanted. But each of us have the opportunity in some way. Doesn't matter what kind of obligations or circumstance you have in your life, there is a way that we can really sit with ourselves and feel and say, what do I truly desire right now, within means? What do I truly desire right now? Because a few times when I was obviously like back in California, I was like in a trailer, and I was like, what do I want? And of course, like it was like fly to Rome and chill for a week or something like that. But that wasn't something necessarily realistic. But what was realistic was, it would feel really good to go to the beach. The beach was a very pleasant place for me. The beach is still a very pleasant place for me, and it's something that brings me peace. It's something that makes me feel good. And then when I got bored of the beach, I'd be like, well, I think I'm hungry now. I think I want to eat something. And then I find myself going to get some food, and then spontaneously running into some friends and having an incredible time hanging out with friends. These situations happen where, if we follow that pleasant feeling within ourselves, that feeling of what do I really desire right now, within means, and we follow that and we trust that, because sometimes it can be scary. Sometimes it can be scary because you feel like, should I really keep doing this, or should I, start focusing on this very important thing that I have, this very important deadline? And you can be very much aware of things that have a timely deadline to it. Like you can abide by deadlines, but not make it a stressful situation. Maybe you have 10 minutes to spare where you can go get your favorite ice cream. Maybe you have an extra 2 minutes where you can go out and decompress, or maybe take a walk in the backyard or in the garden, or just like take a breath of fresh air outside. It's like we always have the opportunities to do something small for ourselves, and even that small thing that we're validating for ourselves, that we're doing for ourselves, that we're not only thinking about how pleasant it will be, but we're actually acting on it, that reinforces it within our minds. That allows us to take that good feeling and make it more valuable. Then the next time we have it, next time we think something pleasant within means, we're like, yeah, I'm going to do that because I have the time, I have the opportunity. If I'm 5 minutes late to this thing, they won't be too mad. There's so many times that we put other people and other circumstances ahead of our own, and we think that that's just how we have to live life. That's just the burden that we have to carry. But the only people that are telling you that you have to carry that burden is yourself. There may be other people that are verbalizing that to you. You have to carry that burden. You have to carry that burden, but it can be in one ear and out the other. We're the ones that allow that to go in one ear and stay there and manifest, and we water it and we allow it to turn into this giant weed that we hate and that we do not like looking at. Yet we keep on nurturing it. And it's no fault of our own. It's just like the other weeds in the garden that have made us seem like, yeah, we should just be growing these weeds. But at the end of the day, it's like there is a moment when we recognize that we are in control of our garden, and we can remove these weeds with love, knowing that maybe they served a purpose at one point. Maybe they served a mindset. They got me to where I am right now. These weeds have inspired and moved my life, no matter what the circumstances have been, no matter how low I've gotten in this life. The weeds have moved me through that in some kind of way. The weeds have been there, and they've been borders that I've put up. They've been insecurities that I've held on to that maybe kept me from having certain opportunities. But now I realize that those opportunities, they'll come again, and I'll be ready for them. These weeds have taught me about all my insecurities and told me, you know what, I love myself despite all this other stuff that's been told to me. These weeds may have told me that I'm not good enough, or, I'll never have that. But you know what? Despite that, I recognize that this is just another weed. I can have anything I want to. I'm as successful as I believe I am. The weeds have shown us the opposition of what we truly believe, and they make us feel bad for that. That's how we can tell it's a weed. Recognize the weeds that are within your life, the things that are unpleasant, and what are they telling you? Because they are also a gift. These weeds are a gift in our lives because they tell us that we want the exact opposite. We want a shift. We want a different change. And then once we start validating that pleasant experience and going and moving towards that and thinking those pleasant things more often, it becomes the pattern that we live in. And this is something that, again, that I forgot during that time. Again, just within these past few months, it was like I was staying very focused on just like processing things, making sure that things made sense, making sure I was able to manually kind of settle that snow globe in my life. And it made things seem very heavy. Even though I was having fun, I was enjoying myself, I was enjoying each moment. That was the pleasant part. But in the times when I was sitting and meditating, it was a lot of this very cognitive stuff that was happening. And I forgot to just follow what felt good. And that didn't always feel good. I'm very thankful for the thoughts because I think it was important to process all of that. But at the end of the day, I think that it's so critical for us to remember that right now is the experience that we're having. Right now is the life that we're living. And if we want to live a joyous life, if we want to live a pleasant life, a life where we validate ourselves, a life where we appreciate ourselves, a life where we love ourselves, then the only time that we have is right now, because the next moment is not guaranteed. And it's just today, actually, that I'm recording this podcast, that I'm starting again to really sit with myself in each and every moment and ask myself what feels good to do right now. And that's why, I'm sitting here podcasting, because this was the next thing that felt really good to do right now. So I've started doing it, and I'm very thankful for it. So I'm going to get myself together, and I'm actually about to go on a trail towards a beach and see the beauty that holds there, because I haven't been there. I've been on this island actually just not too far down the road, and I'm excited for it. So I'm excited for what this brings. I'm excited to start moving towards, again, just sitting with myself, asking myself what will bring me joy right now. what feels like a good thing to do. Last night I made hot chocolate, and it was the first time that I did that in a while, because I just haven't thought about it, and for some reason that was a good thing that I started to feel, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start doing this tonight. And I made myself some hot chocolate. I couldn't drink all of it because it was too sweet, but still, when we follow our passions and the things that feel good for us, we end up with hot chocolate and a belly full of good food, and enjoying ourselves and relaxing and really experiencing this life in a pleasant way right now in this very moment. So that's all I really had to share. Just in that, remember that life is being lived right now. So each moment that you can, try to sit with yourself and ask, like, what would be a pleasant thing to do? And maybe that pleasant thing is to really sit with this issue that you've been holding with yourself, and maybe light some candles and put some soft music on the background, and really just sit with yourself. Maybe that's something that sounds pleasant to do. Maybe you recognize there are walls that you've been building up, and you're like, it'd be really pleasant to kind of sit with this, see what this wall really is, and know that there is a weak spot where I can just tap on it and it can break down if I wanted it to. But I really want to inspect it first. I want to know why this wall is here. I want to feel why this wall was here, and then I want to allow that feeling to be released. I want to allow that wall to come down. That's what feels really good for me to do right now. Feeling what feels good for us to do, it's different for every person. It's not always going to the beach or having ice cream or doing these things that sound very pleasant. Sometimes something that feels good to do is like, I'm going to call my therapist. That feels really good for me to do right now. This life is different for each and every one. I'm not going to profess to have the answers for your life because I haven't walked in your shoes. I don't know the trials and tribulations that have brought you to where you are right now. I don't know that. Only you know that. And as I recognize that there is a choice for me in my life that I have discovered through the world telling me that there is no other choice, that you have to see it as it is, I've discovered a different path, and I'm thankful for it. And that's just all I want to share. I just want to share the thoughts and the things that bring me more at peace, the things that bring me more certainty, and the realization that if I have this freedom to do it, so do you. We are in this together. We are here together. We are one and the same. And I wish to share that, but I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm not telling you what path to go down or how to find the good in your life. I'm not telling you any of that. I'm just telling you my experiences, and if they resonate with you, then move forward in the next step that feels good for you in response to it. But other than that, it's like, I only want to love you and wish you the best in life, and enjoy my life. And I want you to enjoy yours too, so yeah, that's really what that is. And so yeah, I think that's really all I have for this episode. So if you have any thoughts or ideas or anything that you'd like to share, you can send those to everything.sunpodcast@gmail.com. You can join any of the social media groups: Instagram everything.sunpodcast, Twitter @everysunpodcast, the Facebook group @everysunpodcasts, and the YouTube page Everything Under the Sun Podcast. And yeah, that's all I got. Love you all so much, and I'll talk to you soon.